And now, the most yappingest girl this side of the internet. That Horror Girl Reacts!
Hi. This is weird. I don't have my co-host because I'm the only host. Hi, I'm Maggie. I co-host a different podcast and decided to branch out on my own. Hopefully that doesn't go too terrible. This one is a little different. We're going to talk about movies that are not horror-based. TV shows, not just movies, media in general. So, sit down, get a snack, listen to me yap, and maybe we'll agree on stuff. We'll probably not agree on things. And that's okay. This time we're going to talk about the first friggin' season of Stranger Things. And I can't talk about that on my other podcast because my co-host does not watch Stranger Things. So this is basically why we're here. So I can talk about it. Because I've been wanting to talk about it for a minute. So yeah, it's just really odd to have to be here by myself. Hopefully we'll get people that don't want to be on here, because that's the goal, right? You want to not just talk out to the ether, you want to actually talk to people. That's weird. Why would we want to talk to people? That's crazy. But I've always loved movies and media and stuff like that. Just a big cinephile. And this is where we're gonna talk about it. I'll just talk to myself if I have to. That's fine. I do that on a daily anyway. So we'll get into it. So on Stranger Things Season 1, we meet our little kiddos. And we all love them. We love Lucas. We love Mike. We love Dustin. We love Will. But there's something odd. There's something happening in that basement at the Wheeler's house. Besides Dungeons and Dragons. And, Will gets the fireball. Which, future references, is going to be kind of weird. But he dies in the game. And then we see him leave. But not before Dustin offers Nancy a piece of pizza and you fall in love with him. Because he's so cute. And adorable. And he reminded me of my little brother. Like, literally. He's so cute in that first season. And then on the way home, Will goes missing. He's not even supposed to be out by himself. Jonathan's supposed to be picking him up, but he did not. And that's when we meet our kiddos and get all of the story. Then the next morning, Hopper and Joyce. We love a Hopper and Joyce story. Because it's just insane. But yeah, I always thought they were going to get together from the very first episode. Because they just have that, like, enemies to lovers trope that's amazing. So we go and, Hopper's being Hopper and he's not, wanting to be at work. We know you don't want to be at work, Hopper. We don't want to be at work. And then Joyce shows up in his office and his secretary is trying to tell him, hey, by the way, there's a crazy lady in your office that needs help finding her kid. And oh, by the way, you probably know her and probably, like, had a big old crush on her in high school. Like, what? Obviously, we don't find that out until they do the first shadow on Broadway. But still, it's implied. And then Joyce is like, oh, by the way, my kid's not home. And I don't know where he's at. What's going on? I need your help. Why haven't you been here? Literally, why haven't you? What is happening? Right? Stupid Hopper. And then flash forward to school where we meet Nancy. Nancy is Mike's sister, and she is not dating Steve the Harrington. Steven, we do not like you right now. Season 1, don't like Steve. He's an asshole. And that's fine. We don't have to like him all the time. That's why his story arc is so great. But he's an asshole right now. He is the quintessential popular dude that's trying to bag the smart girl. We see you a mile away, Steven, and we don't like you. Nope. Do not. And then we also meet Barb, and we love Barb. Barb's the best. Rest in peace. And then Nancy sees Jonathan in the hallway trying to figure out what's going on with his brother. It's really not okay. Everyone makes fun of him. Oh, and let's mention that Tommy and Carol are there. Fuck Tommy and Carol. Tommy and Carol can suck it. They're horrible people and no one likes them. Not even Steve. He just tolerates them. It's stupid. I don't like them. And I wish that Tommy would have gotten eaten except by the demos. Fuck Tommy. And then later on in the season, we find out that there's a laboratory that is in Hawkins, Indiana, where all of this is taking place. And literally, they are experimenting on kids. It's technically based on the Alan Parsons Project and a bunch of other weird things that happened that we can't talk about. Do you know why we can't talk about it? Because the government is. But anyway, so just a breakdown of that. And then we meet Elle when we find out about the lab. And we like Elle. Elle's cute. She's got no hair. She's gonna eat Eggos later. We like Elle. We know there's something going on, and we gotta save her. But then we go back to our boys. And in the meantime, Elle does escape. She does get out, and she goes to the diner. And then the diner guy calls the cops, as one does in the 80s. Because you didn't know that the government is not to be trusted and doing all these experiments on these kiddos. It's crazy. But so go back, and Lucas and all of the kids, like Lucas, Mike, Dustin, they're all in the office being questioned by the authorities, aka Hopper doing his job that he doesn't want to do. So we end up doing that. And they're making lots of Lord of the Rings references, which personally I love. I love when someone puts in a Lord of the Rings reference because I love Lord of the Rings. I have Middle Earth tattooed on my thigh. It's a good time when you make a Lord of the Rings reference around me. But anyway, they don't get anywhere. And then they go and say that he was at. I really should write these down. I will get better at making these episodes. This is just the pilot. This is just the pilot episode. I will get better. Possibly. But they end up finding out about Castle. Things that are happening. So, I think, sorry, my recording app decided to refresh and threw me off of my thought there for a second. But they did find about the forest and looking around that area, and they decide to do that. And everyone goes about their day trying to find Will. Then our boys, aka Mike, because it's really just Mike, but they end up finding out about Elle and finding Elle, and then Mike takes her home so she can have a warm place to stay. And that we like that. We like Mike at this point. Is it okay? Like, no, it's not. He should have asked his parents. But this was the 80s, guys. Parents didn't care. Hell, even the dad freaking, we don't like him. Don't like Mike's dad. I can't even remember his name. It's like Todd or Terry or something. He's useless, as all sitcom, Jesus Christ, as all sitcom dads were in the 80s, absolutely useless. Absolutely. We don't like him. And I know I said that like 700 times, but we really don't like him. So then Nancy wants to sneak out because Mike and them are going to this kind of vigil for Will. And she sneaks out and goes to Steve's house because they're having a party. In the 80s, apparently, when people went missing, you either had a vigil or the teenagers went to a party. I don't make up the rules. It's just how it was. Anyway, you're gonna have to get used to like me trying to fill silences. And if not, you don't have to listen. I'm not making you listen to me. But I'm pretty funny. Anywho, Barb and Nancy go to the party. And Nancy decides they're all gonna do beer bong things. And that's weird, Nancy, trying to fit in with Carol and Tommy and Steve. If Steve loved you so much and wanted to be with you, he wouldn't make you change yourself, okay? That's number one. Number two, why would you drag your friend who obviously is telling you that this is a bad idea? And she stayed. And she got hurt. Barb got hurt. She hurt her thumb cutting open the stupid beer can. See, season 1 Nancy, the first half of season 1 Nancy, not my favorite. She's kind of stupid. Just saying. But that's my opinion. And I'm allowed to have it. It gets better. Trust me, it gets better. But Barb gets attacked by the Demogorgon. Which really, in all actuality, the Demogorgons they're just really, like, weird aliens. It's not really like a Demogorgon. But I'm just stickler for lore. And so Barb is sitting in the pool, just minding her own business, got her feet in the water. She gets attacked by a demo and killed. Spoiler. But it's been out for like 10 years, so if you haven't watched it by now, what do you mean? Like, what are you doing with your life? So, yeah, that happens. And who happened to be just taking pictures of the woods looking for his brother? Jonathan. Jonathan did. He got a picture of Nancy with her taking her bra off. He's a pervert. And then, but we really do like Jonathan later. He's questionable in season 1. I think that's kind of weird. Who does that? But it's the 80s. I'm going to say that a lot. If you don't like whispering, I'm really sorry, but sometimes it's so the next day, when they all are finding out about what happened to Barb, because Nancy decided that she wanted to have freaking Bow Chicka Wow Wow with Steve the Hare Harrington, which really, in all actuality, only took like 2 seconds. Because the 80s, and Steve he didn't have any much stamina, I don't think. Just like, oh, there you go. Whatever. And then after they're all trying to see what's going on, they see Jonathan with his pictures. They see him, and he's basically got porn in his camera photos of Nancy. So Steve, trying to be the big bad guy he is, breaks the camera and rips up the pictures. Not saying he's a good guy in season 1. He's actually the opposite. Up until like the finale episode. The finale episode, great. It's like the finale of season 1. It's amazing. And it shows you that, Steve actually does have a heart. He stands up to Carol and Tommy. But yeah. And then we get to, after Steve breaks that camera, we get to Joyce and the most memeable things that she's done in this first season with the lights. She gets the Christmas lights. And, her boss is really nice, giving her all that money, all of the freaking advances she has. She gets the lights. She gets a new phone when the other one breaks. Then, after she thinks that, Will's talking to her in the lights, and she gets attacked almost by a demo coming through the wall. And then freaking they find the body of Will that isn't him, and they don't even do a freaking autopsy. It's just a silicone mold of a kid filled with freaking leaves and cotton swabs. Like, it's not okay. Okay? It's not good. It's not. And I know this is a little unhinged, but I'm a little unhinged, okay? It's fine. Then, after they find the body and they are trying to plan a funeral, Joyce is like, "That's not my son! He's not my son! I don't know who's laying in there, but that's not my boy!" And even Jonathan tries to tell her that it's his brother, but no. And she's right. Everyone treats her like she's crazy, but she's absolutely right. If there's anything that you need to know about season 1, is that Joyce is always right. She's always right. After they get through all of that drama and they realize that Elle's there to help her, and side note, Elle stands up to all these bullies in the little gymnasium, makes the dude pee himself. Hilarious. So funny. They make a deprivation tank. And that's what gives Elle most of her, like the strongest of her powers. Okay? So that's a theme going into the next few seasons, that she needs this deprivation tank. Okay? And it just evolves over time. So they do the tank. She finds the people that she needs to find. Nancy's there. She wants to know if Barb's still alive. Spoiler, she's not. And they find out where Will is, so they can go and save him. And Joyce and Hopper go and try to find him, which they do. And Steve's not there. Nancy and Jonathan go and go back to the Byers' house and try to find certain things and see if the demos are gonna show up. Spoiler, they do. But you know who also shows up? Steve. Steve the Harrington has had a little bit of a growth in season 1. After, him and Nancy get into a fight and they're mad at each other and they're technically broken up. But, flashback to earlier season 1 episodes, she's like, I'm not dating him. It's not really dating. Okay, but you make out by your locker, you make out in the bathroom, you go to his house. You're dating him, Nancy. Anyway, so they get in a fight. They kind of make up. They're friendly. Whatever. He shows up at the Byers' house in he has like flowers. He's gonna try and make sure everything's okay. Big Steve Harrington saving the day like a hero. And he does. He's scared. But who wouldn't be when a Demogorgon literally is just ripping off walls and windows and roofs, coming in after you? So they fight him. Nancy shoots the demo, and somehow they get away. And I know there's the bat that's involved, which is great, which is a great scene for Steve, because Steve gets that Mad Max bat, and cha, the guy, really cool, really sexy looking. It's great. They never do a callback to that. Kind of pissed me off. But then at the school, while all this is happening, Dustin decides to look for pudding. And he knows that the cafeteria lady is hoarding the pudding. He finds it and decides, that's what I want in this apocalypse, is some frickin' chocolate pudding. He eats it. And Mike and Elle have their moment. They have a cute little moment. And they have a kiss. But they're kiddos, so it's weird. And, the other breakout star in this first season, Agos. Agos is the breakout star. It revived Agos. It's great, and it still is a whole thing with the diehard fans like myself. We really do love Agos. So they do that. Then they get to the school. They're in the school. The demos attack them. So they take them to the thing to the They take them to there's a classroom they go to, and by the way, the CIA people show up because they're looking for Elle. They want their property back. And what does she do? Opens up another doorway to the Upside Down. Crazy. Crazy. So, she opens up the doorway. She decides, I'm going to take this demo and shove them back into the Upside Down. And then we're just gonna go with them and close the doorway. So she does. She does. And she says bye to Mike, bye to everybody else. And presumably, if you just go by that, you'd think she's dead. You'd think she's in the Upside Down and no one's going to be able to find her. And that's where her story ends in season 1. Then they find Will, save him, bring him back to the right side up. And all is well. All is great. All is good. Everyone's happy. Months later, months go by. Everyone's coming together. We're all good in the world until the season ends with Will going to the bathroom and washing his hands and coughing up a slug from the Upside Down. He had a demo sinus infection. It was in his throat. And he spit it in the sink, and it slithered down into the pipes. You can't take a Benadryl for that. It just doesn't happen. Allegra will not help you. There's no medicine that will help you get rid of a Demogorgon sinus infection. Spoilers. And that's where season 1 ends. That's where we leave season 1. It's great. It's a good intro to this world. And that's it. That first season really did change how you viewed Netflix. You viewed media. It brought nostalgia and horror together for the first time in a really long time. And it captured an audience for the first time in years. And I think that's really what we should take away from the Stranger Things season 1, is that it revamped it. It made it really easy to consume this world and become a part of it. And yeah, like, it was just the thing. You would sit down, the whole season would be released, and you sit down and you would be able to watch it. And it was good. There wasn't an episode where you were bored. There were filler moments, but nothing too terrible where it was lasting too long. So I really think that particular season really revamped media that we are consuming as a whole. And that happened in 2016. Like, it seems very much in this world that we're in right now, it seems so far away. But it was only like 10 years ago. Like, it revamped. I keep saying that, but like, it really did. It changed a lot. And Netflix saw that they had an opportunity to develop this, and they did for 4 more seasons. So that's where I'll leave you with that. I'm super excited to talk about one of my favorite shows. I'm super excited to be able to talk about movies and TV shows with you guys. I really hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you stick around with me through all of these kinks and things and I know I actually stayed on topic for once. I don't usually stay on topic, but hopefully you enjoy and you come with me on this crazy ride and we can like grow ourselves in this tiny little community that I'm trying to build where it's a safe space for everyone to come together, talk about their opinions, differing or not, and enjoy cinema and enjoy just TV again. Because I know things are tough right now, but hopefully this can be like a little escape for you guys and I really appreciate anyone who listens. I appreciate anyone who gives me a shot to entertain them for a little while. Never thought I'd be doing that ever. I'm not the girl that you would think would have a podcast and be entertaining to people, but here we are and you're kind of stuck with me now. Sorry. Yeah. I appreciate you guys and hopefully you come back for the next few episodes. I'll be talking about Stranger Things season 2, 3, 4, and then the final season. And hopefully I'll have some people along for the ride. If not, it'll just be me talking into the ether, talking into the upside down, as we can call it for these next, 4 episodes. And this is a very short episode. It's only about like 30 minutes, a little over. But we'll have fun. Even if it's just me just talking to myself. And you. And whoever else. So with that, I'm going to stop rambling. Because I can ramble. And hopefully you'll join me next time. If not, toodles. If you do come back, I'll see you later.